Back in studio with the fellas, the two-time champ Bryant McFadden, Emory Hunt, America's running back here to assess what we see in that AFC playoff picture. And we have to start with New England, reclaiming the mantle after for about 12 or so hours or 24 hours. Denver found themselves there for but a moment. So I'm compelled to look at those two teams relative to one another, Mac. Like, how big of a berth do you see between that top seed and the second seed?
I think there's a significant gap of separation between 1 and 2. And it all starts with do right and kill everything. Shouts out to Drake.
Picking up what I'm putting down.
No question. I mean, because of his production and progression, I think seeing where the Patriots currently are sitting, you like their chances because of their quarterback and how consistent he's been over the number 2 team in the Denver Broncos, and some concerns that we've seen with Bo Nix. And these are not major concerns. It's just sometimes the efficiency or the smoothness of the passing game hasn't really been there. And then when you look at in totality the pass catchers that have evolved for Drake May, they've become more reliable playmakers. You know, we talked about Kyle Williams. We talked about Keyshawn Butte. They still got Hunter Henry, who's a high-level tight end, in my opinion. You still got Stephon Diggs. And then journeyman Mac Hollins has emerged. When you look at the passing game for the Denver Broncos, you have a few different players sprinkled in there, but the consistency hasn't been there like it's been for Drake May, a la the MVP-like numbers that we're seeing from Drake May.
It's the difference between winning because of the quarterback and winning with the quarterback. I won't say in spite of the quarterback, because Bo Nix has been better than that. But if you're looking at one relative to the other right now, it's an obvious advantage for the Patriots. What do you see when you look at those roads ahead? If we could take another look at that, Emory, because it all comes down to who you're going to play and when you're going to play them.
And which offense can you trust? You can trust New England's offense more so than you can trust Denver. Offense, can you run the football? That puts the Buffalo Bills in the crosshairs. Can you be consistent? That puts the Baltimore Ravens in the crosshairs. Can you play winning special teams? That puts the Jets in the crosshairs. And can you not allow a bad team confidence? That puts the Miami Dolphins in the crosshairs. So I like the Patriots test moving forward. We saw the Broncos tend to allow the Commanders to hang around, and they've done this before. The Giants had a big lead against these same Broncos. So their road ahead with Green Bay, Jacksonville is a lot tougher.
For playoff caliber.
Exactly. So it's significantly tougher to when you can't even trust your offense. We've seen the Patriots, in my opinion, kind of look like how that 1985 Patriots team played, where they lost to the Dolphins, they lost to the Raiders, they lost to the Bears earlier in the season. Now, they got revenge in the playoffs versus the Dolphins and the Raiders, but they obviously lost to the Bears 46-10 in the Super Bowl. But this team plays like that. They're going to go a long way because I like how they're playing. We've talked about how many times they've won different games this season.
I just find it so compelling that in the era of Mahomes and Allen and Jackson, May and Nix are the ones at the top of the conference right now, and the others are just looking for a spot in the tournament, and that's where we go next, Mac. Let's talk a little black and blue in that AFC North, and a massive, massive matchup coming up on Sunday on CBS in a division that seemingly no one wants to win. 6-6, the going rate, and according to our friends at FanDuel, the Ravens favorites to get it figured out. The Steelers, your Steelers, Mac, a little bit dinged right now, and coming off of that performance, it's hard to be confident about them, but it's all right there in front of them.
It is.
Meetings with the Ravens, including Sunday on CBS.
I mean, when you look at the fans in Pittsburgh, they feel some type of way, but they would be smiling from ear to ear if the Steelers go out and take care of their business. And the one luxury with the Pittsburgh Steelers in this matchup, Pittsburgh's last performance was bad. But the same can be said for the Baltimore Ravens as well. The same can be said for the Baltimore Ravens since Lamar has returned from that hamstring injury. We haven't seen Lamar be marvelous in their offense. We haven't seen the entertaining, the production in their offense, and they've just been kind of surviving, to say the least. But this game is very, very important, but I don't think it would be the final say-so in terms of who wins this division, because they will see each other in a matter of a few weeks after this outing on Sunday. So this is the first litmus test for both teams in terms of trying to create separation from the rest of the pack. But you don't want to mess around and be sleeping at the wheel, because this game could be a major turn in terms of if you get the division or if you don't, or you might mess around and allow the Cincinnati Bengals, who's been straddling around, get into this conversation.
It's interesting.
Because now with Joe Burrow back in the fold, And seeing what they did last week, they have a fighting chance. They have a very, very important game against Buffalo. But the Cincinnati Bengals is a team none of us are talking about because we feel like they were dead in the water months ago. But because of the uncertainties with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens, now you have to kind of look over your shoulder a little bit, especially if they win this week, already having a game in hand on the Baltimore Ravens, and you already split the series with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cincinnati becomes potentially a player in the AFC North.
You talking tie? You talking
Too soon for that.
You talking that Cincinnati would love a tie because you're gonna have a 7-6 team.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a 6-7 team.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be a handful of games behind. It feels like, if anything, maybe again too little, too late for the Burrowless Bengals. Now with Burrow back, how much hope is there really there?
Not much, unless you can tell me I'm going to get the same defensive effort from Cincinnati that we saw against Baltimore.
Yeah.
If you can promise me that, we know they have the offense to really put points up on the board.
It's a schedule.
Therein lies the problem. Can they play consistent defense against Baltimore again, against Josh Allen? And therein lies the question. And they'll get tested by the Cardinals too, because Jacoby Brissett and how they play on both sides of the ball they play very Cincinnati Bengals like.
Man, you get these next two.
That's what I'm saying.
So
these next two.
Right. So therefore, can they put together another defensive effort? Because therein lies the biggest question with Cincinnati. It's the defense.
They will need help for sure. But if you're Cincinnati, number one, you take care of your business. But you need chaos to happen. And the luxury they have at their disposal, Baltimore and Pittsburgh will play each other twice within the next month.
Yeah.
And you still have another game against the Baltimore Ravens as well. So all I'm saying is, once upon a time, we felt like there's no way in the world we could consider the Cincinnati Bengals winning this division. Well, right now we're living in a world where we might potentially have to consider that, especially after Sunday. We have to see.
So let's call it 2, maybe 3 teams in the mix there in the AFC North. In the AFC South, there are 3 live sides after Indy has come back to the pack. The Jags, they just keep on at their own pace right now. And you have a Texans team that might have the best unit in all of football. That Texans defense, what is it? They look like what they hunt.
They look like what they hunt.
They certainly do, and they are quite the hunter group right now. Mac, when we look at the South, if you had to power rank those 3 teams, and I know game in hand up front,
Yep.
Jags have the tiebreaker also over the Colts. Texans are the ones that need a couple things to happen out in front of them. But in terms of, if you had to put those teams into a playoff bracketing right now, who would you feel most comfortable about making an impact there?
It's the Houston Texans. I think if you look at this in a small set of lenses and just say who's playing the best football out of those top 3 teams in the AFC South, I think we all would say right now it's the Houston Texans. They're in the midst of a 4-game winning streak. They were able to win ball games without their star quarterback because of their defense. And now what we saw this past weekend in the second half, C.J. Stroud finally found his stride, right? The passing game emerged, and they've done a great job running the football with Woody Marks and Chubb in the backfield. And the offensive line, at once upon a time, they were the Achilles heel. Now they're playing serviceable football. And because of their defense, they're not afraid. So when you look at what they've done, they've beaten 3 straight playoff caliber teams.
Yeah.
Right? 3 straight playoff caliber teams. They have another one coming this upcoming Sunday in the Kansas City Chiefs.
They have framed that opportunity like this because we know defenders, they're a hateful bunch. They attack with violence, and this group is that. You get a chance to mathematically eliminate the dynasty of the day on prime time this week. You're looking at Patrick Mahomes, who has to have each and every one moving forward to find his seat at the table. That has to add a little something extra to this one.
It has to, and you don't have any room for error. And if you look at the Houston Texans, anytime in postseason play, anytime they go to Arrowhead Stadium, Pat Mahomes have always taken their life. So now you have an opportunity to take life from them in the regular season.
How many were they down? A comeback victory?
Oh my! It's been
early in the run.
It's been a few times where they play in January football in playoff atmospheres in Arrowhead, and they've lost. So for Kansas City, they just got to keep doing what they're doing. Now the one luxury for for Houston, they got to keep doing what they're doing. But the luxury for Kansas City, the Texans offense won't present the same challenges that the Dallas Cowboys presented them.